Hey YouTube. Oh boy. You know what? I get calls from time to time from people asking me how do they get their CDL Class A license. Um, and I'm gonna show you something that I have found out. I helped a couple of people go through the process, and this is a way that you can get it for free. Usually the classes, like if you're going to go to a truck driving school, it costs about $5,000 to $7,000. That's for like the whole. I think it's 240 weeks, I believe, something like that. Anyway, you know, if you go through your unemployment office and go through the workforce, they have programs in there for as young as 18 all the way up. And some of these classes is, they'll send you to, you can take classes. Like if you want to go to the state college and take up a finance class or take up some computer software classes or things of that nature. They'll pay for it. But you have to do the research. You have to find out what class like you want. You can bring it to your caseworker, and when funding comes in, because they may or may not have it at that time. But if they don't have it at that time, what they're going to do is put you on a waiting list and call you when they do have funding. Now, the best way to go about doing it is when you do sit down with the caseworker and you let them know that you want to take some classes. Find out all the information that they're going to need. Some caseworkers may tell you exactly what you're going to need when you come back, but some don't. But if they don't tell you what you need, ask. Advocate for yourself. What they're going to need. That way, you can have all of that stuff together while you're waiting. And when they do call you and say, we have funding in, are you still interested in this class? You already have what you need, and you can go on up there instead of waiting to go get the information and risk the funding not being there when you get, all your information together. One of the classes that you can take is truck driving classes. Yep. You can take a truck driving class. You sure can. It doesn't matter if you have your B license already or your A license. One thing though, if you do have your B license, let them know that you have your B license so that they don't make you take, they don't start you from the beginning. Like you're trying to get your CDL, like you're trying to pass all of the tests to get your CDL permit. You already have your B, so you really only need half of the class. So it should only cost like $2,000 to $3,000. But you can take advantage of it and have take the whole amount if that's the only thing that the school offers. You can take the whole amount and use that toward extra, actual range time, which is beneficial because if you've never been on a truck before, having that extra range time get you a little bit more prepared, to figuring out how this truck maneuvers and things like that. Most classes will teach you on a stick shift, which is good to know. Always hold on to your stick shift skills. Don't just come in with automatic, because in the event that you have to work dump trucks, heavy equipment, you're going to need your stick shift. So learn with a stick shift, and then when you do go, for regular, to your regular job, if they put you on the automatic, that's fine, but you still have knowledge of how the stick shift works. So I would get all your information together, go back down to your workforce or job force program through unemployment, and I know one in my state, you're supposed to go to 2 different trucking schools, get a form, a paper that breaks down how much they're going to charge the state, and what they're going to offer you. And you have to get some job clippings posts for like how much you could possibly make. You have to write down why you want to change, how would this benefit you, and you need to have, I know it's something that has to do with like family and friends. I don't know if they have to like vouch, that this is a good ideal or something of that nature. But it's not nothing that's really hard to do. It only takes, the longest thing is to go to to find the truck driving schools, go there, talk to them in person, see how their class functions, see what they have to offer. That's something you really want to do before you do, like say, this is the one I want to go to, I went to one that a friend of mine went to. They liked it, and I liked it. It was a good truck driving school. I don't think they're open now. I know the guy who owned it, he passed away, so I'm not even sure if they're still open anymore. But yeah, he was he was like really a good teacher, really good teacher, really good teacher. I remember being in that truck, and he would be like all up, he would like be pushing, because I didn't know how to back up to save my life, like to back up and do the S curves and all of that stuff. I couldn't get it, and he would like be all up on the truck, like pushing, like he was pushing my truck to make it go, and all I was thinking is, this man needs to move away from this truck so I don't run him over. But in a way, it helped me, because it kept me mindful of him. So it made me like, if he was pushing this way, I kept making sure my truck was going to go that way, and things of that nature. He showed me how to cool off my brakes, because we did end up having brakes smoked out real bad. And, because they're going to have you train on old trucks. There ain't going to be no new trucks. These are going to be old trucks. So it's going to be all kind of issues going on. So, but it's cool, because this way you get to see what happens when these issues arise, So, I learned how to pull off brakes when they smoke up, and I had that happen to me when I was in Colorado. Not good. I was very new. I didn't know how to drive the mountains that well. I didn't learn how to drive mountains before I got out on my own, so I had to learn the hard way, expensive way. But I got it now. So, but yeah, go to those trucking schools. By the time you get done doing all your time, I use mine like a full-time class. I got done with mine in about, I think, 2 months. About 2 months. So, yeah. And then I had my Class A license. You at the end of all your training and stuff like that, you have to come back to the designated area that they're going to tell you to go to, and you're going to go and do your CDL test. Pre-trips and points of he's going to point out stuff that you should know, like how much air do you supposed to have in your steers, how much air you supposed to have in your drives, what is the minimum brake pad, stuff like that. It's interesting, and it's sort of like in the school I was at. It was the way he taught it that we knew it, So, we did our pre-check. We would walk out 10 feet, because he said, a good pre-trip, you should be walking. You should start your pre-trip while you walk into the truck, because the first thing you want to do is make sure that there's no wires, no strings, no anything hanging loose underneath the truck, and then you can't see that unless you're away from the truck. So we always would start our pre-trip walking away from the truck, turn around, and the first thing we would do is look under. And at that point, you're assessing the front of the truck. Front of the truck, passenger side of the truck, rear of the truck, driver's side of the truck. Then you come in. And that's the way we learned it. And we did that faithfully every time. And so by the time we had to go down to the DMV, we didn't go down to the DMV. The DMV had a place set up not too far. And when they came, it was pretty much the same stuff. He took some stuff out of context. I know I didn't pass it the first time. I did not pass it. It was my brake leak tests. Brake leak tests. I had something done in reversed, and the truck it did that, and that failed me. So I had to come back and do it. But it's okay. It's all right. I came right on back the next week and passed it, and all of that, and yeah. So, and then I had my whole entire Class A CDL, hazmat, X endorsed, triples, doubles, and triples, everything that I could possibly get on my CDL, I got, and that was mine, and it was free and clear. So, I don't have to do any contracts with companies and have to stay there for a year, or you have to pay them back, because I took care of all of that stuff before. So, I just wanted to give this information out to you guys as a different way to do it. And yes, you can do it at 18. So y'all kids that are just graduating high school or anything like that, if truck driving is what y'all want to do, this is an option. You do not have to be laid off to go to workforce. Workforce is just what it is. Workforce for non-working people who are looking for a job. They help you. They're gonna teach you resume writing. You're gonna learn networking, interviewing tactics. And it's only, I think it was only like 3 or 4 classes, and each class was like an hour. It wasn't a whole lot of time. It was just, they wanted to see your resume, show you what you needed to work on your resume. The next time you bring in that worked on resume, and that's the resume that they're going to keep, because they're the ones that's going to submit your resume to potential people. And when they do get something, they're going to say, hey, we saw this thing, would you be interested? We could set up this interview, and if you say yeah, then they give you all the information, and you go on down there, and it's not really that difficult. So I think that is a good thing for all y'all to probably take into consideration once all of this stuff clears and life kind of resumes kind of normal again. I think that'll be a good option, since a lot of people right now are on unemployment. A lot of people are going to be able to look into this if this is what you want to do. All right. Peace, love, and light.